12 years ago, actually. It was like last week was my anniversary. It was the 3rd or the 4th of August because I graduated in the summertime after,
Congratulations.
yes, thanks. So it will be 12 years since I went out to USF. So I would say I was a pre-COVID student in USF, so I can share experience about the pre-COVID student. So I end up in USF because of Uninorte as well. So I did mechanical engineering in in Uninorte. I did 4 years. So when I was there, I always like to feel interested in chemical engineer. So they offered me to be try to do the dual degree, which is something let's say that not everybody does, which is a different degree. And I did the 4 years in Uninorte, and then I moved. So the Universidad del Norte helped me with the program, and then I end up at USF. I stay almost 2 years, I would say, like was 3 semesters and 2 summers, so it's a little bit more than the regular, but was an experience that I will keep for me my entire life. So that actually changed me personally a lot. And the impression, it was a universal campus. So in Colombia, when you're in the north, at least you don't see too many foreign students. So you are used to most of the time is Colombians. Maybe you can have one or two. I don't know now with the exchange, maybe it has increased, but at my time in 2010, 2009 was not the case. And when you arrive to USA and you see so many cultures, so many different people, it's not all because it's an international campus. So it's not just Americans there. It's also international. That was really, really nice for me to learn from the cultures and other things. And the classes, it was really, really nice, labs, everything. So I really, really enjoy it. I let's say I had the chance to live that the students associations, everything. I did not have the restriction you had, sorry, but I think we somehow we came back to that normality, I guess, right now. But I would say it's an experience I will keep forever.
Thank you so much. Tatiana is one of our current students, so she's here to give you that perspective. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you ended up at USF and what your first impressions are when you arrived?
Yes, of course. Well, as Vanessa said, my name is Tatiana. I am currently studying at USF. I'm about to go into my senior year. So I've been here for 3 years. I have one more to go. I am currently majoring in marine biology and environmental science. And now that I talk about my major, that's kind of what brought me here. I knew since I graduated high school and some years before that that's where I wanted to study, something related to environmental sciences and especially marine science. And I knew my opportunities in Colombia were kind of limited, which is why, I started looking and applied abroad, and USF was my favorite option. Thanks to the really good scholarships, I got a very accessible tuition, and well, that's why I'm here now. Um, and well, I feel like now I've taken advantage of all the opportunities that USF has offered me. I don't think I was even aware of how much I was going to be able to access to until I got here. And well, that takes me to like what was my that first impression when I got here. And I totally agree with Alvaro that it's like a very international and like very receptive environment. So that helped me transition really smoothly, feel like it was like my home. And, not only it's international, but diverse, and not only diverse in like where people come from, but like, religion, culture, and what people like to do, which makes it really easy, like to find people you click with and you can enjoy and develop yourself with. So,
Okay, thanks. Since we're talking a little bit about um, the kind of diversity that we have on campus. I'd like to ask those of you who are on the call, let us know what you're majoring in. Let's see, what you're studying. That's going to help us connect you to the right people and also connect to each other. If you see you have someone else that has the same major as you, it's a great opportunity for you to start talking before you get on campus because you might be in the same classes. And also, I can say just a little bit before I ask Jana to plug in, we have so many international and cultural and professional organizations at USF that you can participate in person, virtually, in so many different modalities. So without a doubt, there is a way for you to be very active here and very proactive in particular. So let me hand it over to Jana for just a few words on that. While you guys let us know what you're studying in the chat, please.
Yes, I love seeing what everybody's studying. You guys are all smarter than me. You're all in way smarter majors. I can't do the math and all of the other stuff. So everybody who can, good job. So again, I said what we are. I will drop a whole bunch of links and some things in the chat, but just a few things to note. We have over 600 active organizations on campus that are wide ranging from major based to culture, religion, interest. We have something for everybody. And technically, there's over 800 organizations in Bulls Connect. And I say 600 active because it's summertime and we don't quite know who and all is active. And some clubs that maybe some of our older alumni attended even 5, 10 years ago, some of them die out, but then they come back. Somebody will come back to campus and be like, we used to have this. I want to have it again. Let's restart it. So it's a really good beauty of the things that there's still some structures that remain there. And so if you have an interest, I strongly encourage even now using your NetID, logging into Bulls Connect and checking those out, joining some of those clubs and organizations. You'll see some stuff for USF World in there. We have a ton of events for fall. And then do you want me to go ahead and talk about a few of the other things now, Vanessa, or wait for, okay. And so a few of the other highlights that we can talk about, or just so you can be aware, we have some students that have struggled with a few things, is making sure you've already requested your USF ID card. If you haven't done that yet, I will be dropping the link in the chat for that. Order that early because it's a big crush to get it, and you're gonna have to take your picture and everything else, and you can smile. It's not a passport photo, so we want to see them pearly whites. We want to see you happy, right? And then we have a lot of students asking questions about arriving from the airport. I don't know how much this affects my South Americans because you guys all have friends everywhere and you all kind of take care of each other, and I love it. But transportation from the airport is something that we're really talking to students about this year because in the past we've had a lot of really nice, well meaning clubs and organizations offer free rides to international students, which is great. However, most, if not all, of these organizations are not properly insured in the US to be doing the ride shares. And we actually had an instance last year where an international student was picked up from the airport and they were on their way to campus and there was a car accident. Very minor, but still some medical injuries and things occurred. And because the person driving the car was not insured to be doing the ride share type option, all claims were denied. So not only was the international student on the side of the road with their luggage, not getting to campus on time to check into housing, a few weeks later they found out, oh, I'm responsible for all of my medical bills. So we are really encouraging students to be proactive and book transportation from a reputable, reliable company that has that insurance because if something happens, they're still going to have to get you to campus. They just can't leave you there on the side of the road and say, okay, I'm so sorry, you're on your own because I have to deal with this. So that's a few things that we've really been talking to students about. We have an international student chat group that has a lot of information in it. You have to use your USF NetID to log into Teams to access it, but you can meet other international students from all across the globe. You can ask questions. Sometimes students jump in there and answer the questions for us, and we're like, yes, they already know the answers. But then they also are like, ooh, this is an older question, or I did it last year. Maybe things have changed. Jana or Brian, can you guys answer this one? And that's really good advice, right? Because sometimes something has changed. And so we don't want to have false information out there. And so it's been a really good system that has kind of developed organically where the students are managing that for us. And then we also, oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to jump in and say that we're going to put a link in the chat for this international student group on Teams. And again, that's something that you can ask questions of your peers and also ask questions of the USF World International success team or support team. Yeah, sorry, I keep getting that wrong.
No, you're okay. We changed our name halfway through. We are now support, not success, because everybody's in charge of success. But the other thing too that a lot of students get stressed out about right at the beginning is if you've set up to get text messages to get into your USF systems, and you come to the US and you get that American phone number, you're not getting the text message anymore. So you're locked out of your account. So we really encourage students to use the Authenticator app from the beginning or switch it over before they leave their home country or wherever they are so that they don't stress over that. Because when you get here and you realize you have that problem, it can take a few hours. We have seen students take up to 3 business days to get through that process. And those business days are stressful because school may have already started, your professors are emailing you, and you're going to be worried that you're missing things. So that's something else that I will be dropping in the chat, and then answering any questions that might come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Okay, let's say you're fixing all of these things. You're on campus now. I would love to hear from our alumni about the challenges that you faced as an international student. Valeria, obviously you had so many challenges as a student during the COVID time, but I encourage you to think about this question in terms of your coursework, collaborating with your peers, things like that. But I'm going to start with Alvaro. You came for a couple of years. You arrived. It's very diverse. It's exciting, but we all know that it's very challenging to study abroad and to move to another country. Can you share with us a little bit about, especially the initial challenges that you faced?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is to adjust to the new lifestyle. You're living by yourself, so you need to do a lot of things. Uh, Cooking, if you have not cooked, you need to learn how to cook. If you need to, I learned how to clean bathroom, by the way, for example. That's something I would never did before. So clean the toilet was and the tiles of the shower, for instance. So that's something to remember. Of course, learning how to cook, I didn't know at the time. So my first couple of rices were one was with too wet and the other one was too dry. So until I found out the right spot, but it teach you. So let's say you grow up out of it, and also that's on the personal life. You need to solve things. For example, I spent my entire 2 years almost without a car. So and I managed to survive in Florida without a car 2 years. So that was my main challenge, I would say, in personal life. Because at that time, USF did not have a supermarket. Now you have a very nice Publix, by the way, in campus, which I
We
did not
do.
have,
We do.
and I suffered because of it.
Oh, you
Because
suffered going all the way to the, what
to
was it
the
at that time?
Walmart
Sweet Bay.
the
Oh,
Walmart by
okay.
University Mall, which not the best location.
Yeah.
I will keep to myself the name we use for that Walmart in the community, but it was Tatiana is laughing because she know which Walmart I'm talking about. But it's a 24-hour Walmart, but it was not the best place to be. By actually, not recommended for new students. Please don't go there. But that was my only option, for example, to buy groceries. So I was relying on friends that I made in my classroom, so friends that were living nearby, because I was not living in campus, I was living outside in an apartment above in the north side of the university on Fowler. So that was, let's say, my personal life, let's say, figure out Florida life without a car. That was my main challenge. And school, the challenge was more related to how it was not specifically, let's say, on classes or courses. It was more on how chemical engineering department works, because it opens some courses only during the spring, some courses only during fall, and then you need to adjust the courses accordingly. So that may challenge a little bit. And the summer classes are not easy because not all the classes are open in summer. So you need to adjust a little bit the agenda coming from Colombia. In my case, as I was a transfer student, but let's say in that case, the department make it my life easier. So they helped me a lot. So they already had a plan for me when I arrived. So I just had to follow and work on that. So let's say, beside that, I will not say that just the car, just the car.
We have a lot of a lot of our alumni tell us that transportation, not only alumni, even current students, will say transportation is one of the biggest challenges here in the US.
I buy a bike. I buy a bike. So I use a bike on campus, not to go to the other places outside campus, because it was not safe. But in campus, I use bike, so I exercise a lot inside campus.
Yeah, I think that's your favorite mode of transportation, right, Tatiana? You have your little basket. I've seen you on the campus. Yeah. Okay.
I ventured to the Walmart with my bike, though.
Things
But
have
yeah,
changed a little bit. I don't know.
things have changed, yeah.
Yeah, I was there like 3 months ago, and yeah, it's totally different. That's why I
Yeah,
see them.
exactly. Valeria, I'm going to jump to you. What about you? What did you find challenging about participating in, was it Project Global Action? That's such a cool program. I'm friends with the person who led that, Dr. Rahi, if you know her. But yeah, please tell us your experience as well.
Well, I have to mention some challenges I had. I could mention two of them. One of them was being familiar with USF's platform for completing tasks and downloading texts. I had a lot of issues with that, but luckily Dr. Rahi was very patient and she would always be aware of all the tickets we submitted to the IT department. So if you're covering that, guys, they really help you out a lot. And the other one, I have to say that it was a little challenging for me at first to integrate with people from the US because I had always been very hermetic. For let's say it like that, I'm not so sociable. And I remember I was in a group with some girls that were really, really close friends. And it was a little tough for me at first, but then we managed, and as long as we were working, we were trying to do icebreakers, we were trying to do get to know each other dynamics, we were trying to go a little beyond the work we had to do and just try to know each other. And then I could manage and I could finally feel part of a group. Of course, the teacher that led my group, Paula, I think that's her name, if I am not correct, if I am not wrong, sorry. She also really helped with that. I talked to her and I told her how I was feeling, and she was very kind and receptive. And she also helped with the dynamics within the group. So I think those are the two main challenges I faced.
Thank you, and thank you for those tips too. And Tatiana, what about you? You arrived here. What have been your biggest challenges?
I love hearing Alvaro and Valeria because I like just keep thinking of more things. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I struggled with that too. So as you were just saying, Valerian, I think I can relate it a little. The language was certainly like a biggest challenge that I was not anticipating. Like I felt like I was confident, but then as soon as I walked in, it's like it hits you. Like it's hard to socialize in another language. It's hard to do all these things you're not used to. So that was a big challenge, but I like to see now, how far I've come and maybe how much I didn't understand when I just got here, but I feel like I got most of it down, so that's good. Um, what else? Yeah, I feel like also just like adjusting to the system. Well, I went to high school in Colombia and like most of us did, and it's very different. The words they use to describe things, how even grades work. It's everything is different. So adjusting to all those little things and getting the hang of it, knowing how it works, it took a little time. I'm glad I had, some friends. Of course, I like gravitated towards like my friends from freshman year are Cuban, Puerto Rican, Latinos that it's easier to like um get close to. But thankfully they have like grown up in the US and we're like super used to the system. So I still remember one of my friends helping me with registration for my classes for the next semester because I had no idea I even had to do it. I thought, someone did it for you. So yeah, I'm glad I found these people along the way that were able to help me, give me some tips on how it worked, and slowly but steadily, I kind of had a better understanding of how the whole system works.
Thank you. Since you're talking about meeting people and building those relationships that help you get through the challenges that you experience as an international student, we already said we have a lot of student groups and organizations here on campus. Can Alvaro and Tatiana, can both of you talk a little bit about how more specifically, you were engaged on campus? Like, what kind of groups did you attend? What kind of activities did you participate in? And how did that help you? Go ahead, Alvaro.
Valeria is below Valeria. It's there. No, if ladies first, you wanna go first, no problem.
Well, this is for on-campus participation.
Okay, so it's me.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, no, I'm Latin, so I was engineer. So at USF at that time, hopefully it's still, I have a SHEP. We call it SHEP, but it's not actually SHEP. It's a Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. So I was invited, my colleagues, so there was a lot of Latins who studied with me, Cubans, Venezuela. So they invited me to SHEP, which is not only for chemical engineering, it was for the College of Engineering at overall. So it was a multidisciplinary engineering program that allowed me to meet a lot of people from other careers there. And also as part of my chapter, since I entered as junior year, I met the people from IKE, the chapter, the American Institute of Chemical Engineers from chapter of USF. So the persons, they were also there as part of my, let's say the chapter president was part of my class. So she invited me, and that's how I participate in they used to, I think the 2 years I was there, they did it in the springtime. There was like a ferry that people from high school goes to the College of Engineering, and we do the lab things, like chemical things for the kids from school to go to the activities with IKE. And then once I was there, I got invited to Toberapai, so which is the Society for Engineer. So I got part of Tau Beta Pi. I did all the social things. It's like a fraternity for engineers, but as a requirement to enter. And they invite you. So you basically get invitations through the College of Engineer. And then that's also allowed me to meet other people. And also I have been in touch with a couple of my peers from Tau Beta Pi actually, because it's global. It's a chapter in the entire US, so it's not just USF. So it also allows you to meet, and it's a well-recognized fraternity, because it's not a normal fraternity. People is a professional fraternity, let's call it. We have social activities, but it's not like in movies. So it's more social networking, like to meet other people, and also professional, because you receive people that has been part of Opera Pi that are working outside. So it's networking for the future in terms of work. Those were the chapters I was part, basically. But in all of them, there were activities to be done. Were academic and social activities. We did a lot of things. There's conference that you can attend in other places. So there was when I was there were two conferences, one in Minneapolis, one in Atlanta. So also give you the opportunity to know other places, and it's networking. So I was with IKE in a conference in Clearwater, and you meet people from companies, Dow, DuPont, things like that. So it's really, really, really nice, because it's not just meeting people in campus, it's also helping with networking outside.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned these professional chapters and the conferences, because I think a lot of students don't realize when they come here that getting involved on campus doesn't just mean, going to events in Tampa or in St. Pete or going to parties here on campus. It also means joining these chapters that have a national brand or an international brand. So by being active in those particular types of organizations, even if you're here in Tampa, you can very easily make international or national connections. You can easily end up at a conference, at different competitions, things like that. So it's really an opportunity you shouldn't miss, to have that nice balance between your cultural and fun orgs, but also your professional org opportunities. Tatiana, what about you?
Sorry,
Go ahead.
plus one thing, I don't know, probably Tatiana will mention it, but something I forgot, which is also really important, is international services activities. I will not skip that, because I got invited to a group, so we receive activities to make you the culture. So we did pumpkin carving for Halloween, for example, with a lot of international students. So at that time, it was really nice, because you were getting to know the local culture with other international students that are facing the same issues. So it was also really nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, Shep is going strong still. A lot of my friends are super involved with that. And yeah, they're going to the conference this year. It's in California, if I'm not wrong. So I know that one's really strong and involved. And it has a great, I mean, as you said, it's Hispanic, so a great involvement of Colombians, Venezuelans, Brazilians, which is great. I'm not involved in it myself because of more my career path, but I did find kind of like similar options. Maybe they're not as like big as, something like SHIP or something, but there's a lot of opportunities out there. Personally, I joined the Tampa Bay Association of Environmental Professionals. Still haven't like really gotten to go to a lot of their events and stuff, but they do provide a lot of opportunities, internship opportunities, volunteering, all these important things that can support your career professionally. Um, I can't, there's so many, opportunities at USF, not only student orgs that have connected me to people. I was
You
also
also
able to,
did study abroad,
Mhm.
right? You
Yes,
did study
I was
abroad?
gonna talk about that. And Alvaro reminded me when he talked about those international experiences. I did study abroad, and there's like so many programs. I'm sure like there's a program for any major, any interest that you may have. Mine was like super specific even, and it fitted my career goals super well. It was a scuba diving marine research program in the Caribbean. It was very short. It was 2-week program, but it was the best way of connecting me with the people that were interested in the same thing as me. They were my major. They not only the other students, but the professors we went there with. It's great to, develop those relationships as well, everyone you meet along the way. And now more socially, culturally also. Well, I know there's the Latino Student Association, it's pretty big, and the Colombian Student Association is coming back. I know they were like off for a few years, but as I've heard, they're like coming back with strength. I'm sure we need like one Colombian that's like super determined to like take the lead and actually do something really cool with it, because that'd be awesome. And what else? Maybe more informal like opportunities too, like campus recreation. The rec offers so many things, like cycling classes, just the gym itself. I've made some friends at cycling myself. So yeah, there's like everything at USF. Every day it's an opportunity to meet someone and develop yourself socially, professionally. Great.
Thank you. I want to comment on some of the challenges, Valeria, you pointed out in terms of when you have issues with learning the different computer systems, software, things like that. IT is definitely really helpful, and most professors here are going to be very understanding about the fact that you're an international student and that you're really dealing with a lot. And kind of in line with what everybody has been talking about, Jana's office is going to be that physical location that you can go to and find help. They also have a game room. They have study space. It's a place where you can really go when you need a little bit of support in some way, whatever it is, whether it's, you can't figure out how to submit your project, you can't figure out how to get to the grocery store. That's not on campus. You can't figure out, any kind of transportation or any kind of other issue. Jana's really, the person to go to, and her team is really going to help you out. And I don't know if you put a link to your actual unit up, Jana, but maybe you can do that.
So I did up in the chat, I put our team picture with all of our contact information.
Okay.
I actually also put our international student chat group that I talked about.
Mhm.
We offer 30-minute bookings for personal questions or private appointments, even for continuing students. And that's the other thing too. We're here for you while you're starting. But we want to be your best friends all the way through graduation. Like we want to help hand off to Vanessa and alumni. And we still have alumni that contact us and they're like, hey, I have this problem in question. Can you help? So it doesn't matter where you are in your journey at USF. We're here for you. So we have those 30-minute bookings that are in there. And then I also dropped a whole bunch of other stuff in there. But again, the only other thing I would add is just our overall website for anybody to check out. So I will drop that in there.
Thank you. All right, so we have about 15 minutes left. I want to open it up to the group. Oh, we've got something here. Oh, you're in Thailand. Wow. That is so cool. What did you study, Juliana? Do you want to pop on for a second?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was actually just getting ready to leave. I have to get going. Yes, I graduated in 2007. I probably am the oldest one here, even though I'm not old. So
I graduated in 2007 too. Don't worry.
Okay, there you go. I graduated from International Business and Marketing. I've been in Asia for the past 3 years. I'm currently in Thailand. So yeah, if you guys ever decided to come to Asia, call me. I'm here. We're planning to be here for a while. So for sure, enjoy it. I will say the most important thing is have fun, enjoy it, and enjoy the journey. It's the best experience ever. Once you graduate, lines turn very serious.
It's very true. I was in Thailand back when I was a student at USF and I had a wonderful time. Very interesting that you've been there so long. We'll have to get you to come back on and I'll plan an earlier event for you so that we can get you during regular hours. But thank you so much for joining us.
It's okay. I'm very happy to join. It's already it's quite early for me. So I'm usually not up that early, but I wanted to at least see some of the new faces that are joining USF. It's amazing to see new faces, young people, especially Colombians in USF. So yeah, have fun, enjoy it.
Thank you, Juliana.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Right. So, guys, you're very shy. You're very quiet in the chat. This is your opportunity to ask questions of our alumni, of our current students. If you want to know anything at all, please put your question in the chat. And while all of these questions are accumulating, I'm going to ask my final question to our special guests. Let's see, Valeria, is there something that you know now that you wish you had known at the very beginning of your experience at USF? You know, that may have helped you, may have changed the outcome. Is there something you know now that you just think, oh, if I had only known this, or if I had only done this, or if I had whatever, my experience would have been better, stronger, whatever it is?
Well, this may sound a little funny, but I think what would have helped me a lot would have been to know the US time zones a little better, because sometimes I ended up with very funky meetings at some weird times, and I would have changed that for sure.
No, that's very practical. I think all of us experience that when we travel. Okay, what about you, Alvaro? What are you thinking? Man, I wish I had known that when I first came to USF.
Not sure. Not sure. I need to remind a lot. The only thing I will say now that something that I will mention is that one of the things you really believe, I really believe helped me a lot as professionally was the composition classes I take when I was in USF. At that time, you might not see the importance of it, but to proper write in English has been really crucial professionally. So when you write, and this is a feedback for all the new students that arrive to USF, the way we write English when we learn English is not the same way native write English. That's one of the things I learned when I moved to USF, when I wrote a scholarship application my first semester. And when I review what I wrote after, it was like, oh my God, this was me. Like, even though, in theory, I passed the TOEFL, I knew English, that was completely. But after that, the grammar or the way to properly write English professionally has been really, really important for me. It has helped me with reports, presentations, everything. I check my manager presentations. My manager is French, and I'm the one checking whatever he presents for English. When he needs to do a crucial presentation, for instance, he relies on me because of that. And it has been something that for me, I would be really interesting to know that I was not writing like that. And another thing that I would really know is that you do a lot of quizzes in USF. The first 2 weeks were really tough for me. Every time I arrive to the classes, it's like, oh, we have a quiz. I said, what? Do I have to do something? And it's because the way at least I was used to in Uninorte was different. Uninorte was more focused on the test, just the test. So professors were giving you the classes, and there was not a lot of activities in between. USF is not like that. You have a lot of workshop, a lot of homeworks, workshops, quizzes. So you are, at least at my time, I hope that I could say if it's still the same. It was day-to-day involvement. Basically, when the test arrived, I already have studied practically everything. So, but the first 2 weeks for me, I think I missed a couple of quizzes because I didn't know they were happening and I didn't prepare for it. But then once you know the system, it's you know how it is and you prepare. But I think that will be the quizzes thing.
Okay, great. Tatiana, I'm going to ask you to jump into just answering the question in the chat. Alejandra wants to know if it's possible nowadays to survive without a car.
It is possible. I did it for the first 3 years. I just got a car last week, so I'm very, really happy about that. But you can do it. I mean, of course, it's not the most comfortable thing, and there's rain and there's things that happen. But I think if you keep a good mindset about it, and you'll be fine. And there's options. Maybe again, maybe having a car is the easiest, fastest. You can save some money, maybe even in the long term, but you can get around. The USF bus system is pretty good. Like that got me around perfectly. I've gotten places I've needed to go. Like one time I had to go to the DMV when I wanted to get my license, and the USF bus took me there. Or what else? Well, Uber is a really good option if you split it with some friends. You can go to Walmart for what, like $2 each person, and there is also a city bus. It's not pretty good, I do say. It's kind of like inconvenient, but it's also there. Like if you ever had to go downtown, it is an option for you. I've done it myself. But I mean, yeah, you don't need it. Like there, you can survive. That would be my answer. And as Alvaro and I said, we had a bike that made life even easier. Bike, I would 100% recommend it. It's really good option. The campus is really nice. You can bike around pretty well to move between classes too. And it gets super busy with traffic. The bus is super full sometimes, so walking or biking might be even your best option, like within campus and all that. And as long as you have a good lock, because I've gotten my bike stolen once, so it's good that you have that in mind before.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think my bike was also stolen once, but uh, anyway,
You need the lock. I need the
get a
lock
bike and get a lock. And if you have any other transportation issues, then don't be shy. Go visit Jana's team, and they're going to help you out with, maybe you need to get to Miami, maybe you need to get to Orlando or some other thing. They can give you a lot of information on how to do that. So
We
I have
also recommend
Mhm.
registering your personal items with the police department for free. So if your bike is stolen and it gets found, it comes back to you. So we help with that as well.
Yeah, there's all kinds of resources on campus. That we were talking about the writing studio. I'm really glad that you mentioned that, Alvaro, because I myself, I was an international student in Germany, and my writing was absolutely atrocious. I mean, like I could chat just fine. Just talking is fine, but if I had to write any paper, I I would just always fail. And if I wish I had had a writing tutor that could have helped me, but I think I didn't have that opportunity. The fact that we have a writing center and we have tutors and we have a lot of people that can help you with that, it's so true. Once you become a professional and you have to write any kind of report or give any kind of presentation, those professional writing skills are really invaluable. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes left. Any other questions from the crowd? While you guys are thinking, I have a special request. I would really love to take a photograph of this group. I know you don't have your cameras on, but if you don't mind putting your cameras on just for 2 minutes, we will take a quick snapshot and we're going to teach you. Actually, Jana, why don't you teach us how to do the Bulls sign?
So it's called Go Bulls. Hand up, middle fingers down, thumb in. And you say Go Bulls.
Okay, so I'm going to open this up, the view to the gallery, and then I would love to just take a snapshot here and be able to show off what an amazing attendance we had and all of our new students who are coming in. Give you guys a minute. Make me call you individually.
You're still highlighted, Vanessa, just so you know.
Oh, no, nobody wants that. Okay. Okay, everybody see a gallery view now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. No takers, huh? Well, this guy's an AI. What about Margarita, Carolina, Maria, Orlando, Alejandra? They're like, bye-bye. They're just leaving. Okay, well, all right. Let's just take.
That's okay.
They got scared.
They got scared. Okay, we'll take a picture of. Oh, Carolina's camera doesn't work. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, well, we'll take a picture of us. Cool people.
All right, I'm gonna take it. Give me one
Okay.
second. 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Okay.
I could have used my USF ball. I still have that one.
We can take another one. We can take another one.
We
if
can
you
take
want.
another one.
No, but I actually found it here. Huh? By the way, it's not. Actually, it's the one we have with the USF bull sign. See?
Oh, cool. Okay, let's take another snapshot.
See,
Come
with
on.
the color of
Do it.
the green and gold.
All right, show
All right,
it
hold it
up.
up. Hold it up. We're gonna take another one.
Proud. All right, 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Valeria. Thank you, Alvaro. Thank you, Tatiana, for joining us today and for helping our incoming students with, with a little advice and some tips. I really want to encourage everyone, if you haven't already joined USF Network Colombia online on LinkedIn, it's going to be a great place for you to connect with your peers all around the world, with our alumni who are even in Thailand, with Colombian, USF, Uninorte alumni who are in Paris and all over the world. So please join. We're going to drop the link to that in the chat. And if there are any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact us. I'm going to put my LinkedIn and my email address in the chat as well. I hope you all share your contact information. And we're very excited to have you. So I look forward to seeing you all on campus in the next couple weeks. Okay. Thank you.
Good luck to everybody. Success. Hope you
Thank you,
enjoy it.
Alvaro. Thank you,
Yes,
Valeria.
enjoy, guys. Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. These final chat links in here. You can stop recording.
Okay.